What's up, guys? We are live here at Pro Play Games with Pascal Pichu, otherwise known as. He's got some new stuff coming at you. Why don't you tell the audience what you have for us?
I have Link Madolche Pals, otherwise known as Little Magileine's Pal-Loza.
Alright, cool. So this is utilizing the new Link mechanic, which is not legal yet, but going into effect after Nationals. So here's a cool idea that you guys can start looking at, utilizing that new Link mechanic. So let's go into it.
Alright, so as Madolches, we're starting with 3 Magileines. This deck is a Pendulum deck. Having Magileine is amazing because you search anything and just Pendulum summon it in like immediately afterwards. 3 Angeli. Angeli is there just as a Lone Fire Blossom for the deck. Hoot Cake, a better Lone Fire Blossom for the deck, banishes out of your graveyard to special summon anything from the deck. 2 Gelatos, searches spells and traps. And 1 Mewtwo. This is just a level 3/4 Hoot Cake to allow Leviair plays. I don't usually use its normal summon effect, usually I prefer to normal summon Magileine. To finish up the Madolche engine, there are 2 Chateau and 1 Ticket. The Pal part is a little bit different. I'm running 2 Parrot Trio. I really like this card because this is both a scale 2, and its effect is if it sees another Pal in the scale, it could also be a scale 7. I'm running 3 Lizard Draw. This is amazing because this is a level 3 Upstart Goblin. 2 Turtles, just to complement for the Pot of Greed effect. 3 Sorcerers. This makes the consistency of this deck. This allows me to search for my scales to allow the Pendulum summon, and it combos very well with Pendulum Rising. 1 Luster, just to pop the Sork, make an immediate Pendulum summon. 3 Duelist Alliance to search for my scales, just to search for Sork or to search for Luster. 3 Rising.
What does this card do?
Alright, so what Rising does is I could tribute any monster with a level. In this case, usually I'll try to tribute Magileine, Gelato, or Angeli, and it summons any Pendulum monster from your deck that's the same level as what you tributed. So when I tribute summon my Madolche monsters, usually I'll just summon a Sork. Sork will pop itself in some other card, and then I'll have my scales. If I have a Magileine, that's an immediate Pendulum summon from whatever Magileine searched. And that's it for all of the Pendulums. The next things that's really important in Link format, and I'm actually hoping it gets banned, is triple Gofu. Gofu right now can open up 4 extra monster zones, which I'll explain later. 2 Rabbit, 2 Twisters because I don't like dealing with back row, and 1 Raigeki because I don't like dealing with Firewall Dragon. So that's it for the main board. I'll explain Gofu later. My extra deck, I'm running 2 Link Spiders to complement the Gofus.
What does this card do for those?
Alright, so Link Spider is just a Link 1. It uses any normal monster and it points downward, so it'll open up the extra monster zone under it. Typically it'll be Gofu, summon 2 tokens, Link Summon, get your Spider, Link Summon, get your Spider. The tech card that I'm running is Stargirl Maiden Eve. What this does is it requires 2 monsters of different attribute and different types to summon her. So Link 2, summon Eve, I'll open up 2 zones. While she's being pointed at, she's untargetable and indestructible. While if I have any monster that would be destroyed in the side zones, I could tribute her off instead. So she protects my Huge Cake, she can occasionally protect my Pendulum summon, she protects me from Dread, and she protects me from Masterpiece, and she's amazing. I'm also running Mrs. Radiant. Mrs. Radiant is just any 2 Earth monsters. She buffs all Earth monsters by 500 attack and defense, and she lowers the attack and defense of all Wind monsters by 400. Additionally, if she's destroyed, I can add any Earth monster, which all of my Madolches are Earth, any Earth monster back to my hand, and she can also add herself back to the extra deck, which is amazing. 1 Decode Talker, which the wording on here is wrong. He can also tribute opponent's monsters. He negates any targeting effects by tributing a monster linked to him. He could also tribute the opponent's monster, from what I've understood. 1 Gaia Saber, he's just my beater. He's also, in case I open up an extra Gofu, I can summon Gofu and immediately go into him, and he's just a 26 stick. I'm running 1 Invoker. I want to playtesting, I want to bump this up to 2, but I'm not sure what to take out yet. I'll probably figure it out later. He's only there for Gelato. 1 Dweller. This stops the true Draco plays. This stops the Stargirl plays because all of their effects are in the graveyard to special summon out of their hand. This is amazing against them. Tornado Dragon, I'm debating between him and Direwolf, mostly because I can use Direwolf to pop Mrs. Radiant, who happens to be a beast. On top of that, he also pops a back row. Tornado Dragon, quick play stops back row, which is sometimes more effective. So it's a little bit debatable between him and Direwolf. Levier, normally what I'll do with Levier is I'll have a Hoot Cake, summoning the Mewtwo that I mentioned earlier. And what that'll do is I can, if I have a Sork in the graveyard, I'll banish the Sork to Levier, bring back the Sork. The Sork will pop himself and the Levier, and that'll be immediate two scales, and I'll still have my Link Zone open. Madolche's 2 Tiramisu, best card in the deck. 1 Chocolate a la Mode. Now, Chocolate Mode is there mostly for an OTK. Mathematically, if we have Chateau on board, Chocolate Mode, Radiant, and Gelato, it's exactly 8,000. Radiant will be at 19, Gelato will be at 26, Chocolate Mode will be at 35. That's exactly 8,000. That's the biggest reason why she's there. Her side effect is any Madolche monster in the graveyard you can shuffle back into the deck. With Chateau, it goes back to your hand instead, so it's there also for hand advantage. The card I'm most likely to cut is King of the Feral Imps. I had him here essentially to search Lizard Draw. I noticed myself not going into him as much, so I'm probably going to cut him. And 1 Ignister. Ignister is there for the Luster effect. It's also a mini Tiramisu, destroying my own card to return 1 non-targeting. Alright, so explanations. As I showed you with Gofu, there's a better Gofu play, but it's not going to be out in the upcoming list.
So these are all cards that we're going to get in the next.
It's not going to come out in Coded Duelist. It's going to come out in Circuit Breaker, and this is why I'm hoping Gofu gets banned. So moving cards to the side. If I summon Gofu, I go into my 2 tokens. I use a token to summon a Link Spider. I'm going to have to proxy this because I didn't make a printout of it, but I'm using Gofu and my token to make a Proxy Dragon. So I have this Proxy Dragon here. I can summon any 2 cards out of my extra deck now. So let's say it's just summon Dweller and Tornado Dragon, doesn't really matter in some way. I can now use this Link Spider and this Proxy Dragon to make a Encode Talker. It's a newer card. It has a arrow pointing towards me, an arrow pointing down, and an arrow pointing to the bottom right. So that allows me to summon 2 more extra deck monsters. And so so 1 Gofu essentially opened up 4 extra monster zones turn 1, which is going to be insane for Zodiac. It's going to be insane for Synchro decks. It's going to be insane for everything, which is why I'm hoping that this gets banned. I do have plans if this gets banned. Most of the time I don't go into plays like this. Another thing with Madolche is now, another combo that, one of my most frequent combos is, this is kind of an older combo. If you've played Madolche, you would know this. It's any 2 monsters, or any 2 level 3 monsters. So let's just say these 3. Plus Hoot Cake is going to be an OTK. This will typically happen after a Pendulum summon. When I'll have the situation, like I said, these 2 could be literally anything. So, or it could be Angeli. Actually, Angeli, most people know Hoot Cake, so we're going to use Angeli. The first thing you make in the extra monster zone is Invoker. Invoker will act, well not Invoker immediately. You still want the Hoot Cake on board. You tribute the Jelly. What matters here is that Jelly's going to go back into the deck from Chateau. Link Summoning says that does not matter, that Angeli is going back to the deck. So that's what makes Link Summoning really cool. So Angeli will summon Hoot Cake. Invoker will summon Gelato. Gelato will get an effective search for a Chateau. You're going to hold onto the Chateau for a little while. Hoot Cake will banish the Angeli to summon another Gelato. Gelato from here will search for a ticket. We have 2 Earth monsters, which happen to be Invoker and Hoot Cake, which will make resist Radiant. But before that, we do want Madolche monsters in the graveyard. Hoot Cake is going to be that Madolche monster going to the graveyard. But first, we have to take Chateau, so we don't reset. So we can reset the graveyard now instead of later. We'll use Ticket. Doesn't matter when you use Ticket, as long as you use it. Link 2. Now have Mrs. Radiant, which was just here. I can now overlay to make my tiramisu. I'll return the fruit cake and the gelato back to the deck. It's kind of important since I'm only running 2 gelato to return it back to the deck. According to other judges, the ruling is I can't add fruit cake to my hand, otherwise I would. Wherever one goes, the other has to go, so I've returned 2 cards already. I'll use ticket to special my gelato back, and then I'll put chocolate mode, wherever the chocolate mode is. So I've returned 2 cards, and this is, as I said before, this is exactly 8,000 damage. That's the most basic Madolche combo that's new right now. You can still do the Mewtwo and Jelly combo if you have Gofu with the Link Spider and the Maiden Eve or the Proxy Dragon, depending on your extra deck space. I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'd like to give a shout out to Julie Tamanio and Robert Avila for coming up with my name, Little Magileine's Epic Palooza. If you want to see me play, I'm usually on Dueling Book whenever I'm not here working for Machado. My name is Little Magileine. Thank you for watching.
All right, thank you for the deck profile. Super unique deck, like you said. This is not going to be used until after Nationals, but just to get you guys thinking of newer strategies and unique strategies with these new Link mechanics. If you guys don't know the Link mechanics yet, definitely brush up on it. If you guys want to see more videos like this, you know, with knowledge into the future, let me know. And thank you, Peachy, for the deck profile. Appreciate it. See you next time, man.